So first up we have Sara, Principal Sales Engineer of MarkLogic, and she's going to be talking about MarkLogic in the cloud. So Sara, are you ready?
I am ready.
Fantastic, off you go.
Right, today I'm going to show you it's as easy as 1, 2, 3 to get up and running with MarkLogic in the cloud, both with AWS and Azure. Now everything that I'm going to show you will be in real time, except I do have to speed up the instance generation because with the cloud vendors it takes between 7 to 10 minutes on average. I've got 7 to show you both, so I need to get started. All right, first, MarkLogic with AWS. If you search for MarkLogic in the AWS Marketplace, you will see how to get started using MarkLogic 9 or MarkLogic 8, and there's different licensing options for you. But I'm going to show you something new, which is in 905, we support virtual private clouds. So we have a VPC template that I'm going to be using. So how do you find templates? One way is to go to developer.marklogic.com. And I'm going to scroll down to where it says Deploy on Cloud. Then I'm going to choose AWS. Now I'm going to scroll down past all this useful information and instructional video, and you can see the templates here that you can download to customize for yourself. We're going to do a 3-node cluster. I can also click on the button Launch Stack if I'm already logged into AWS, but I'm using this new template, the VPC template, and so I have that local to my laptop. And so I'm going to use that instead, and I'm going to go right to AWS's Create a New Stack page, and I'm going to instruct it to use a template that's off my computer. Then next, and you will see a form that I need to fill out regarding my stack. So I'm going to give my stack a name, MLW18 Demo. And then I'm going to use the IAM role so I don't have to use my personal Amazon credentials and I can share roles with others. I'm going to keep some of these settings the same because this is a demo, but I do need to have an SSH key in case I need to SSH into the instances. I'm going to do a 3-node cluster, and so I'm going to have 3 different availability zones. Keep everything else as default. Now here's where I specify the login for AWS. So this is the MarkLogic admin user ID and password that I want to use. Now, there's a lot of things that are going to be created in AWS related to my stack, and I'm going to create some metadata so that I can easily find all of these components. So I can use the same name here and hit Next. And then all I'm doing is I'm just reviewing my settings, making sure everything's okay. Then I have to check a box here because I'm using the IAM and some custom names. And that's really all there is to it. I'm going to hit the Create button. Now I'm using the training account here, so there's a lot of stuff. And this is why I added that metadata so I can search on MLW18 Demo. And you'll see this creation happening. And this is where I had to speed it up a little bit. You'll see things start to turn green. When everything turns green, then that means that everything is ready to go. Again, takes about 8 minutes to 10 minutes. Then I can go check to see whether or not everything's ready. Yes. And then outputs, and I just click on this link to get to the login page for MarkLogic. So I'll type in my admin credentials here. And that's all there is in creating a cluster in MarkLogic on AWS. All right, now moving on, because I'm under the timer, MarkLogic on Azure. So I'm going to Azure Marketplace. I'm going to type in MarkLogic, and it's going to give me a whole bunch of options for templates. I'm going to do a 904 cluster deployment, create. Now I need to give it a name, so I'll use the same name as before, MLW18 Demo. 3-node cluster, we'll do pay as you go. Now I'm going to group everything together under resource group, which is my name. Then here is where I specify the MarkLogic administrator credentials. Azure is a little bit more picky as far as passwords go, so I have to type a longer password here. And then the license information, we'll just keep it as is, as this is just a demo. All right. Also, these settings here with high availability, load balancer, I'll just keep those as is. But I do need to have SSH credentials to be able to log in as well. So for their virtual machine, I'll type in my username, and I'll have to paste in a public key. Then for instances, all I need to do is click down below, And I'll have options for the instances in Azure. I'm going to use the default. Hit OK. And then it's actually running some validation on my settings. That runs very quickly. Validation's passed. Just click OK, and then create. So this is sped up again. It takes about 7 to 10 minutes to create instances or virtual machines in Azure. And then you'll see a box pop up that'll say deployment succeeded. And I can click on that box to go to the resource group, or later, if I want, I can move over to the left-hand side under resource groups. And you'll see that resource group that I created under my name. Now I'm going to go to the IPv4, so the load balancer IPv4, to get to the DNS name or the URL that I need to copy and paste to be able to log into my MarkLogic cluster. So I'll copy that. I'll just open up another tab in Chrome. And then I need to add the administrator port, 8001. And you'll see the login prompt for the administrator account. And that's really how easy it is to get up and running with MarkLogic in Azure. So in summary, I've shown you very quickly that it's super easy to get up and running with either AWS or Azure. We just did 3 node clusters in that case. So MarkLogic is the perfect solution for your cloud neutral strategy. If you want to learn more, please join us tomorrow morning. So we will be around doing a hands-on session for AWS at 9 o'clock and Azure at 11 o'clock. Hope to see you there. Thank you.
The countdown makes it tense, right?
Yes.
So just before you go, one more thing. If you had a choice between Azure or AWS, which would you choose?
Well, Azure, of course, they're our sponsor. So need to give a shout out to Microsoft. Thank you very much. Honestly, both of them are very well QA'd. It depends on the experience of your staff and then also what brings the best value to your organization at the time. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you.